wearing all black, being aggressive, hitting bombs. Got to hit bombs off the tee to be able to get to those small sections. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hit bombs and attack the pin.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Aloha Press Podcast. My name is JC, joined today with my co-host Jeff. We're back in our recording studio here in Ione, California. We ventured out to Nakoma, the Dragon Resort, spent a couple days watching the U.S. Open, playing golf. Jeff, dude, I think we killed it up there. Like, we had a blast up there. This is something that you know, when we launched this company, that we were this golf review company, we decided, hey, that was terrible. Relaunch, we're a golf entertainment company. We like to do fun videos. We like to do on our podcast. We like watching golf. We like playing golf. You reached out to one of our coworkers at our real job, and she said, you guys got to go to the Dragon. So,
well, it's one of those places where it's golf, but it's more, right? It's got a lodge.
Oh, it's way more.
It's got an entertainment center. It's got a bistro. It's got a bar. It's got everything that we look for. You know, we don't want to just go out and be boring and talk about golf and check out this 8-iron, right? We want to play golf, but we want to go check out the bar. We want to check out the restaurant. This place just happened to have the lodge. So we got 2 full days of that up there. The wives had a great time. We had a great time. And it's a tradition, you know. We're going to go back. I can't wait to go back. And I want to tame the dragon. I want to go play that golf course again.
Absolutely. So we reached. So our friend reached out to one of their friends who said, "Hey, we have this, you know, these buddies that we work with for this golf entertainment company." We linked up with Brooke up at Nakoma. She said, "Hey, come up, film, launch your drone, play some golf, tell your friends about it." So we did, and so it happened to be on Father's Day after our trip up at the U.S. Open. We had this, you know, great opportunity to, you know, take the family, kind of treat them to a fun weekend. And so we headed eastbound and down up Highway 80 towards Truckee, made a left at 89, and it kind of ventured out into the middle of freaking nowhere. We're so used to going to Tahoe, and, you know, it's kind of this beautiful place on the lake, but it's so busy, surrounded with blackjack, and all we want to do is play golf, drink, and gamble. And sometimes that's probably not the best thing for a 6-month-old. So we're like,
or us sometimes,
or us, yeah, exactly. We might venture off into getting in some trouble.
Yeah.
So we said, hey, let's go, and so we did, and we left Saturday morning with the anticipation of going up, playing golf, watching the U.S. Open. We showed up. We're met at the door by Richard at this beautiful hotel, kind of nestled into the pine trees in the forest with all these great views. Talked to him. He set us up with dinner, set us up with some great rooms with some great views of their little practice green, practice bunker, the putting area, and we're like, we're in golfer's heaven. Yeah. I mean,
for, you know, the amount of stuff that we packed into that 7 days, from trip to Monterey, the U.S. Open, back to work to Nakoma, it was the perfect end, because you can get into that resort up there and just disappear. You don't ever have to leave it. It's got everything you want, and we learned that from, you know, the time we stepped in the door when Richard took us under his wing and kind of walked us through everything they had and helped us out, you know, getting reservations and making sure our tee times were set up, and then gets us in our rooms. Then we run up, have lunch real quick out on the deck. You're looking down over the golf course.
Yep.
You know,
and the cool thing is we're there with our wives and our kids, and you know, we're looking at them like, hey, it's time for us to tee off, and they're like, can you guys go? We're going to go enjoy the resort.
Right?
Like we're going to altitude.
Leave us alone.
Yeah, we're going to go jump in the pool. We're going to go play in the activity center. We might be climbing the rock wall. We might be doing a little dunk contest later.
And they got a bar sitting right next to the pool,
exactly,
so they can have their nice glass of wine, relax. You know, and we couldn't wait to go get to the range because it was a grass driving range, which was amazing.
Absolutely. Giant putting green. They handed us a couple bags of golf balls, grabbed our clubs from our car, set us up in a cart, drove down, met this very fun, energetic.
She's kind of the jack of all trades.
Pretty much,
she
yeah.
does cart stuff. She does cart girl, beverage cart. She probably works in the restaurant at some point.
Yep.
Her name was Amanda, and she took us down to the range, got us set up. She even tried to give you some tips on your swing. Which was kind of funny. We were getting a mini lesson before we got out on the Dragon. But I think the best thing about the range, there were 2 things. One is it gave you a chance to kind of check the altitude, see the difference in the ball flights and how far the clubs were going to go. And then you got to try out your Father's Day gift.
Yeah, so my wife and I had a child back in December, Chase, and this is my first Father's Day, so she was very excited about this trip and about me playing golf, and so she consulted my business partner Jeff and said, "Hey, what can I get him for a Father's Day?" And he suggested a 2-iron. That's what he. That's
I
what
have
he
a
suggested.
I have a tendency to but people ask me, hey, what should I get my husband? What should I get my boyfriend? Or what should I get my dad? For some reason, I gravitate to the things that I really like or that I would want. So and we've been talking about this 2-iron and how the pros hit it and all that stuff. And so I was like, okay, that's beautiful. That's the one.
That's exactly like the Tiger 2-iron is what we're playing now.
Right? And
So-
he smoked his first shot with it on the range. Let me tell you.
I think I hit it 260, 270. I drove it through the range.
Sold. You were sold on it.
It was done. It was absolutely done. So I threw it in the bag, took out the hybrid. I'm only carrying driver 2-iron through 60-degree wedge now. So I've got all irons now. I'm just the iron guy.
Which was perfect for our first round of things.
Absolutely. Because the Dragon, everyone that we told, like, hey, we're going to the Dragon, they're like, yeah, pack a lot of golf balls. And we're like, so we show up with this anticipation of having to hit 7-iron, between 2 pine trees on every tee box. That was so far from the truth. And, as we made our way through the first round, we realized that it might not necessarily be a bomber's course, but it's one of those courses that you can, if your game is tight and you're hitting driver great, it's a very gettable golf course. And for someone that's a little higher handicap, it was definitely playable. We hit a lot of irons off the tee just because we were playing a little defense that day. Plus, we're doing a lot of filming. We wanted to get a lot of different golf shots. But Jeff, what was your take on the golf course just in general, and kind of the stigma on the shit that we heard about, how difficult it was?
Well, first of all, the difficulty is there, but that's when you make bad decisions and bad golf swings, right? That happens kind of everywhere. But overall, everybody said, bring a bag of range balls, go buy extra golf balls. You're going to lose them all. You guys are going to have no fun. We lost 2 golf balls combined in 2 days of golf, right? And I lost mine on the first tee.
Yeah.
So that myth is thrown out the window. It's a ball striker's golf course, and it's a thinking man's golf course. It really is. It's not a get up carefree and swing as hard as you can, because you're going to be in the woods. But that's kind of the strategy of golf, and I thought it was fun. I thought it was a blast. I mean,
well, and I want to say if I'm hitting driver and wedge all day, we're playing. It's not fun.
Save that for a 4-man scramble.
Exactly.
Right.
And that's not what I want to do. I want to be challenged and have a good time and be able to come back and tell some stories about how many 2-irons I hit. And, on one hole, I hit my 2-iron over 300 yards.
Yeah.
I was playing downhill, downwind, and I thought it was freaking Tiger Woods out there.
Right? You feel like you're on the tour. Now when you see those guys hit those balls on the tour, and you're like, how do they do that? Well, right there.
Exactly. Yeah, you just got to play downhill, downwind.
Yeah, and at altitude. It's a couple clubs difference.
It's 6,000 feet.
Yeah, you feel like you're the man out there.
So as we played through the golf course, the golf course was in unbelievable condition. For as much snow and as rain that they got, I don't know who the superintendent is out there, but that dude needs a raise, because it was in unbelievable shape. The fairways were perfect. Some of the tee boxes weren't, perfect, but I don't care.
Yeah, they're coming back in. I mean, when they're
Absolutely.
under snow for months, and frozen. But yeah, condition was huge, and that's a lot of ground for them to take care of. That's a humongous piece of property. I mean, you could not walk that golf course because it's so big. They've got such a lot of land that they've built this course into and kind of weaved it through the trees and used the natural terrain. So for the way that they take care of it, especially this early into the golfing season, it was beautiful.
Absolutely. And some of the views that we, like on hole, if you guys go check it out. Go play this golf course. That's, if anything, don't believe the stigma of, this is the hardest golf course in the world, because it's not. I've played the hardest golf course in the world. It was in like 60-mile-an-hour winds on the side of a cliff. It was terrible. I'm not going to tell you which course it was. It is nothing like this golf course. This golf course had unbelievable views. We created our own tradition on hole 4 and took driver and smoked it out into the canyon, which was pretty cool, into the Feather River. I thought that was fun.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun, and we've got it on video. Someday maybe we'll post it, but we'll definitely do it next year when we go back.
Absolutely. So we finished our round. We got to share. Okay, I decided. I'm like, Jeff asked me at the beginning of the round, I'm like, hey, are we gonna do race to the bottom? And I'm like, hell yeah, we're gonna do race to the bottom down 12. Like I just beat you on 18 at Monterey Pines, golf club.
A lot of momentum.
I had a ton of momentum. I knew I was just going to smoke them, right? So we go up there and we're playing at 6,500 yards. We probably played more like 6,000 yards. And Jeff had another good day. Jeff was smoking it. He played really well. I pressed in probably some not the best times, and walked away with a. I'm only down 20 holes. Okay, so the race of the bottle is still going. It's not going to end. I'm not paying you that. I'm not buying you $100 bottle to restart it quite yet. Okay.
Nope. I thought you might tap out, and if you're not going to tap out when you're down 20, you ain't never going to tap out.
Probably not.
This thing's going to go, and who knows? I feel you catching a hot streak. I've seen you play some good golf. You are streaky, so I could see you put a couple rounds together where you shoot in the 70s, and with those strokes, all of a sudden you start to chip away and make this a match.
Oh yeah, we're gonna make it a match. I'm still coming for you. We got time. It's not July yet, so that was a lot of fun. So once we wrapped up our round, we were met by Richard on the 18th hole, and he kind of went through our round and kind of showed us some places where we could improve on the next day, and let us know about some of the conditions and how they're going to change from playing in the evening to playing in the next morning that day. So we wrapped up a round with him, which was really cool. Made it back to the hotel, changed, and made our way to one of the nicer restaurants that I've been a part of, and the nicest restaurant my son has been a part of.
Very true. He's probably the youngest guest they've had too.
Probably
6 months old.
Yeah.
But the Wigwam room up there is their fancy restaurant on the property, and it was amazing. I mean, you walk in, it's set fine dining style. It smells amazing. I think, like I said earlier, we made the mistake of kind of looking at everybody else's plate when we walked by, and my eyes were bigger than my stomach. So it's like, order one of everything. And it was all amazing.
It was really good. We had a really good week of some really good restaurants, and that was, for me, when someone introduces themselves, like, oh, hi, and we're like, hey, what's the special? And they're like, it's a 45-day-old, not 45-day-old, 45
day aged,
excuse me, New York steak, and I'm like, done. I'll take it right now.
We both got that. The only problem is only one of us ate it.
Well, I ate mine because Jeff ate 3 appetizers and a salad and these really cool chips with some strawberry salsa, which was awesome.
Yeah, I was so bummed. I got like one bite of my steak and I couldn't eat anymore. Luckily, I saved it and got it the next day, so I had a nice little snack. But that dinner up there was awesome, and the hospitality and the staff from the golf course to the restaurants to the altitude, the entertainment center to the lodge was just top notch.
Absolutely. So when we sat down with dinner, we talked with wives and kind of got their input of the resort and stuff. And my wife was like, "This is a place that you go and you don't have to leave. Everything is here, from a couple different styles of restaurants to some of the activities." She's like, "The pool is unbelievable. There's a giant hot tub. The spa is freaking unbelievable. They've got a basketball." They've got the rock wall. They've got the private movie theater where they've got over 250 movies that you can play. They're bringing popcorn to the kids in the movie theater. They've got the activity center. They get this giant bar. She goes, "We just went down there, hung out by the pool, and had a few cocktails, and had a good day. And we didn't need to go anywhere else."
Well, and usually we get a little grief when we go play golf, because they're always waiting around for us, right? Not here. Like you said, they couldn't wait to get rid of us. They wanted to go hang out and check out the things. And, next thing you know, we're done golfing. They're like, "Oh, it's time to go to dinner. Yeah, we had a blast. Can't wait to go tomorrow. We're going to go try this."
So it was cool to see their and hear their input. They took a bunch of photos and stuff, which we'll be releasing on our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. If you're listening to this podcast, tell someone about it. We're trying to grow our brand, the Aloha Press. Again, really appreciate the download. Okay, if you like what we do, give us a great review over on Apple, Google Play. And so day 2, Jeff, we knew what the golf course had, what the golf course looked like, how we played it the day before. How did you change your game plan from day 1 to day 2?
Well, day 2, we didn't have race to the bottle. We had some cameras out there, but we were just more taking, shots here and there. So we weren't really filming. It was all about fun. We went out and we hit driver a lot, and it was fun. And you see how far that ball goes. I mean, some of the drives were going 330, 340. And that was without wind because it wasn't windy in the morning.
Right.
It's just altitude, hard fairways, hitting the right spot on the fairway, landing zone. You could land something 260 and it's going to run out to 300, or you could land it 290 and it's going to stay right there. So it's kind of, we just had a lot more fun. Carefree, I should say, the second round. Plus it was beautiful weather, sunny, low 70s, not a breeze in sight. The cart girl was out, bringing cocktails to us on the course, smoking a cigar. We brought up a couple nice cigars. All the guys that we ran into that we were playing, around or next to, because I think they had, pretty good amount of players that day. They were awesome. A couple were a little hungover and let us pass.
Yeah.
But they became followers of the Aloha Press, and they talked about the course the same way we did. The first time they played it, I think they had played it on Friday. They played more conservative and, probably shot better scores than they were that day. But when you just get up and bomb it, man, you can hit some memorable shots.
Yeah, and that's the fun thing about golf. Like, if you're not having a match, or if you're not taking it super serious about Race to the Bottle, or you're doing a bunch of filming, I mean, why not go hit a bunch of drivers?
Oh, yeah.
Because like where the trees were and stuff, and there was some bushes and stuff, and it made it challenging to find your golf ball. But we only lost 2 golf balls during 2 days, and I hit a lot of punch shots in between pine trees.
Yeah.
So it's definitely gettable.
And on day 2, for us, I don't know if you ever played in our foursome, we play games all the time. We're always screwing around. But we had closest to the pins. We had putting challenges. We're throwing out little bets here and there. We're always playing for drinks and this and that. So, we kind of did that throughout a round. And we played fast day 2. I think we played in under 4 hours.
It was definitely under 4 hours. And there was and we passed a couple groups, and everyone was playing, ready golf. So it wasn't that normal, typical resort style golf where you're going to be out there for 6.5 hours. Because that's the worst thing in the world. I do not want to be standing and waiting 10 minutes on every shot. So everyone was excited to be there. Everyone was hitting good shots, and it wasn't. And what that tells me, as many players that were out there on that Sunday, is that the golf course is not that hard. Yeah. It's not that challenging. Of course, if you play under damn near 4 hours on a course that reaches 7,000 yards, it's not that difficult.
No, and another cool part we haven't mentioned yet is number 8 and number 9 kind of run right by the lodge. So if your wives or, your girlfriends are there, they got to come out and say hi, check you out. We saw Chase, kind of catch up how your round's going, and then you go play the back 9. So it all kind of, because the property's so big, it flows well, and you kind of can see everything throughout your trip.
Absolutely. So that was really cool. We wrapped up, and the best thing about the U.S. Open being on the same weekend that we were there and being on the West Coast was we didn't miss a single moment of it. So once we got done with our round, we ventured over to altitude and met up with the wives and Chase, and we got to hang. We pretty much turned their lobby into our living room.
Oh yeah,
we were having cocktails and popcorn and lunch served, and
we had that
big giant screen.
Yep, bartender put golf on every TV in there for us. We sat at the bar for a bit. We moved over to the couch, parked our butts there with Chase. And they were bringing, like you said, popcorn from the movie theaters to us and cocktails, and we got to watch pretty much from the start of Brooks's round, which is second to last, all the way through.
And that was cool. And it was, at a resort, like at a normal, hotel, they're not going to do that for you. They don't give a shit because they're there to please everyone. And for some reason, on Father's Day, there's groups, there's kids running around, there's moms, and everyone's swimming and having a good time. And, dads are just hanging out watching golf, and you're all there as a family. Chase was hanging out with us while the wives were having cocktails in the spa, and we didn't piss anyone off.
Well, and it really showed me that Nakoma is more of a family-style resort, and it's tailored toward that, and it showed it there because there were families up there doing other things than just sitting there watching golf. Like, we obviously went up for the golf, right? That's why we were there, and we're going to sit and watch the US Open. But they didn't need that. There were families, like you said, in the theater, in the rock wall, playing basketball, swimming, in the hot tub. And then, they'd come in, get a drink, check on the score of the golf. A couple of them hang out with us. But, they've got so much to offer that it's an all-inclusive up in the middle of nowhere.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And we've taken those all-inclusive trips, like some of the cruises we've taken. We've been to Dominican and Costa Rica. We've been to Cancun, been to all these different places and stuff. And I'm not comparing it to those places, but I'm saying it was an all-inclusive resort. Like, and we had everything for the family there, which was so neat.
And they also give you the option to plan out a lot of your day if you want, right? Because
Right.
when we walked into the lobby, they had some sheets out about the different things they offered on different days. And we got lucky enough Sunday, Father's Day, we got golf in the morning, U.S. Open in the afternoon, and then they had a wine tasting event up at the by the pro shop.
Yeah.
So we got to sneak up and go do that, and it was kind of like a self-serve at times. It was awesome. I mean,
It was great. They were so cool about it. And we come from the wine country, and we were able to share kind of where we were from and what we do and stuff. And it was kind of like I don't want to say it was like a meet and greet or like a meetup, but it's kind of what it was.
Like,
I mean,
it was like a mixer. We just
it was
got to
like a
kinda
mix. Yeah.
hang out. We made a ton of friends up there. We made a lot of connections for the Aloha Press. We learned a bunch about Nakoma. Kind of the history, the resort side of it, the golf course side of it, the redos or of the greens and some of the tree removal. So it was awesome. And then you know what? When you finish your wine tasting and they shut it down, what do? We sneak back down to altitude and they got the pizza oven going.
Yep, they sure do. They were cooking pizzas for us, and and again, Jeff, our appetite usually is not as big as our eyes, so we ordered like 6 different pizzas.
Yeah, we definitely had a lot of leftovers again,
which was good. The pizza was unbelievable. They're serving us cocktails. They're letting us watch whatever we want. They turned on some of the music that we wanted to listen to. I think we had some Usher going and some what is that guy that we always listen to?
Which I might have had too many cocktails to remember by that point. I don't know.
I mean, it was like club altitude. It was a lot of fun. It really was.
We kind of took it over, and then at one point, I'm sure there's some video of it somewhere. Me and JC ran into the basketball arena and started having a dunk contest in our flip flops, which was pretty cool. We didn't get hurt. I'm surprised.
Right.
I figured I'd fall down or twist my knee or ankle or something and miss work, but didn't.
So,
happen.
as this resort, and we're looking at it, and I'm just excited to come back, especially when my kids get older, and to bring the families back, and maybe I have a family reunion and get more people there. And they've got this full size basketball hoop that's like NBA regulation, but it's on this lift that can go from 7.5 feet to 10 feet. So of course, me and Jeff, it was like we were back to being like 8, 9, 10 years old and just dunking on this 7.5 foot hoop.
Oh yeah, it was, and hanging on the rim. Acting like you're Shaquille O'Neal back in the day. It was a lot of fun. People probably looked at us like, "What are those two doing in there?"
Exactly.
But you know what? It's totally acceptable because they just want you to have fun up there.
Yeah. And so after that, we made it back to the hotel, and had to take care of some things. But then it seems like, yes, this is a family resort, and there's no truly nightlife, but there's nightlife up there. It's like no one really spends their time in their hotel because it's such a beautiful place, and the resort itself there's so many activities to do. So the last thing you want to do is just sit in front of a TV inside your room and kind of turn it in. So we turned the lobby into like Club Nakoma.
We kind of have a tendency of doing that places
We
go.
do.
But it was perfect. They've got a few different lounge seating areas, the tables. It's a 2-story building, so the rooms are kind of secluded from the lobby, so you're not going to make people mad and keep them up. And there were other groups in there too, drinking wine, hanging out. And we started doing little commercial shoots and doing our thing and having fun and making friends. We even got a group of old ladies that wanted to be in our commercial. They were there for golf as well. They did a ladies golf trip, and they got in one of our commercials and support the Aloha Press. We made a few fans, made a few followers, and hopefully got to promote a good image of Nakoma and kind of the different things you can do there.
And yeah, because on these golf trips, sometimes it's like you're living in a hotel, and this was the complete opposite of that. And if you've got, you're just away from everything else, and you have no excuse to get out of your room and have a good time. And because there's so much to do. The one thing I do want to touch on is around the resort itself, they've got their own lake. They've got hiking trails. They've got mountain bike trails. Richard was telling us all of these things that, because we were there to play golf and, have fun at altitude and stuff. But, the next time we go there, we got to spend more than 2 days there.
Yeah.
Because there's way too much to do.
You give me five nights, a week up there to kind of explore. And from what I've heard, our friend Elizabeth, who kind of hooked us up with this deal, she talked about Portola and the different restaurants and bars and activities they have close proximity to the resort.
Right.
We didn't have the time to get out and kind of explore because, we wanted to spend all our time at Nakoma. But yeah, there's obviously a lot more things that we need to go back and do.
Absolutely. So, Jeff, we wrapped up our night with some cool commercials, which we'll be releasing on our Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and I just can't wait to go back and look at some of the drone footage that we were able to take. I mean, we got up early that morning and took some great footage. Got some shots that I don't think anyone else has ever gotten. That we were able to get. I just can't say enough about the staff, the resort itself, and just I was disappointed when we had to leave. When we were loading up our stuff in our cars, and I'm just like, I felt like I was hungover from fun.
You felt like that. I was hungover.
I know you were.
Yeah, I didn't want to leave because I wanted a few more hours to sleep. But you know what? I would have toughed it out and played another round of golf.
Absolutely,
had we had the time to stay. But when we look back on the drone footage and the camera footage, and when we put together, some of the videos for the resort, it's easy to make that stuff up there because the views are so beautiful and the area is so nice. I mean, how hard is it to take pictures of that resort and that golf course and make it bad? You can't.
No, they made it super easy for us.
Yeah, it's naturally just set in the land. It's beautiful. There's nothing out of the ordinary. And then you throw in the hospitality, the customer service. I mean, they made us feel special, kind of like we were celebrities or some big deal when, we're pushing 200 followers on
Exactly.
Instagram. So I don't know. I loved it. I don't really often say that I want to go back to places all the time. I'll try a lot. I kind of like to go different places all the time. And it's very rare that it's some place that kind of hooks me, but that's one of them.
Absolutely. And it's one of those resorts that will accommodate anything. I mean, from having a wedding there. I want my family to have their next wedding there because I'm excited to go back.
Jordan, did you hear that?
Yeah, exactly. Tell my brother, hey, switch up. But to be able to go to a wedding there, to be able to go to like as soon as the Aloha Press, starts growing and getting bigger, maybe we have 40 employees here in the next few years. I don't know. But taking a whole, retreat, they can accommodate so many different types of groups, family reunions. They can do birthdays. They can do everything there. And that was really cool. I mean, if you hit up Brooke, our contact up there and say, hey, I've got 40, 50 people. We're doing a giant fantasy football. Or we're doing a golf tournament. They can accommodate you.
Well, and you know what? There's a lot of times people take trips and family trips or even just couples trips, and you kind of want to get off the grid and really relax and get away from the stresses at home, whether it be work.
Oh, turn the damn cell phone off and just relax.
That's the spot. Like you said in Tahoe, the hustle and bustle is always there in Tahoe. Up here, it is silent. You hear the birds. You hear the wind through the trees. It smells like Lake Tahoe, right?
Yeah.
You're up in the mountains.
It looks like it, kind of.
But you can kind of just de-stress and kind of get away from reality for a little bit and have a nice, relaxing trip. And just, okay, you know what? I'm going to do whatever I want up here. Nobody's going to get a hold of me by email, text message, unless you want them to.
Right. And if you've got those, and what's neat about Nakoma is it's not far away from anything. So if you've got the niche to put 700 on black, okay, Reno's like an hour and 15 minutes away.
Yeah, and I think Tahoe's 50.
It's like another hour.
Yeah.
So those things are reachable. I mean, and that's what's great about it. It's just far enough away to really check out.
Just take it from us. Get up there, check it out. You're not going to want to leave, and you're going to want to come back. It's that cool of a spot. It's modern, it's new, and the golf is challenging, but so much fun.
Very good. Jeff, to wrap it, ladies and gentlemen, again, go to our website, www.thealohapress.com. Download, help support us, which is going to help turn around and help support Nakoma. Tell them about our podcast. If the best way to support us is just letting one of your friends know to listen to our podcast. Check out our videos that are going to be coming out in the next few weeks. We'll be producing some really cool content, some videos for Nakoma themselves. And again, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Again, we really want to thank Nakoma and everything that they did to really promote and produce an unbelievable couple days up at that resort.
That weekend was amazing. Brooke, Richard, Amanda, keep doing what you guys are doing up there. We wish you nothing but success, and we will definitely be back, and we're bringing our friends with us next time.
Absolutely. So, with that being said, boom, done. Have a great day, guys.
Wearing all black, being aggressive, hitting bombs. Got to hit bombs off the tee to be able to get to those small sections. And that's what I'm going to do today. Hit bombs and attack the pin.